Good afternoon or good day. This week's shop talk is, going to be the same usual fare. Not much machining kind of updates of what's going on. I went ahead and started shooting some of the things that I've kind of been picking up along the way, purchases this week. And I about decided I'm going to slow down. I about got everything bought I want to buy. I need to get concentrating on getting the Grizzly running. And I was alluding to it, or you may hear me allude to this a little bit in a segment, and if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But basically, what I've ran into is I got the machine on vibrating pads, and the vibration pads are similar to what I've seen other YouTubers use, but since my shop floor is a wooden shop floor built basically like a house frame, the machine is not stable, and I'm trying to determine what it is. There's a possibility that the flooring's flexing or the pads are flexing. I'm really not sure which one. So hopefully tomorrow afternoon, this is Friday afternoon after I get off from work. I am working through the holidays, I mentioned that too. This is the 2nd of July right now. Our holiday is Friday. I'm working 8 hours tomorrow, 8 hours Saturday, and 8 hours Sunday. Our business demands is they ask for volunteers. And I will explain my personal ethics in these situations. I don't have, my family doesn't do great big productions for the 4th of July here in Kings Mountain. We are a close family, but we don't have big cookouts and this, that, and the other. So I didn't really have that planned. You heard me mention in passing in probably last week's video, and you may hear me repeat this again. There is a lady locally I have dated last weekend, and we're going to do something we're going to have a date on the 4th. So, but actually, my biggest problem isn't my social life, isn't that I'm single, it is Eaton Corporation, Transmission Division, Kings Mountain Plant. We have extremely high demands for our product. Not as much for the actual units, transmissions that's built out the back door, but a lot of the components. This week, everything's so tight. This particular week, we got so tight that we had to hand carry parts for 2 days, right off the job, of small lots at a time to assembly. That's always a tough route to hold. I came in Wednesday morning at 3 a.m. and I no more walked up back there and started getting my stuff together. And we have telephones everywhere. Telephone wall bust. Lead operator. They're looking for it. I said, I know. Well, no more than get started, the lead op out of assembly comes. I know these guys. I've worked there for ages and eons. He said, well, we'll do what we can. Let's just get started at it. So 15 at a time. And that went on from 3 o'clock till about 8 o'clock Wednesday morning before we finally got enough to satisfy their demands for a while. So it's very tough. And the reason that I will say I'm going to use the word volunteered is my personal work ethic. I believe if somebody says they would like for you to work, that it's my obligation to do it. And if it wasn't necessary to work, they wouldn't offer to work. And I haven't got any big firm plans, so I felt like it was my responsibility to be there this weekend. Yes, there's some premium pay involved, but that's a different story. I do help supplement my mother's, to keep her in a home, the way all this works out, the way the system works. actually they're not allowing quite enough for what the Medicaid picks up versus what she draws. And to keep her bank accounts in a decent place, I'm paying part of her responsibility for that. And this month she went and had her hair permed, so there's $50. So this month about usually it's been about 200, 220. This month it's about 270, almost $300. So Mom took care of me. I'm living basically in her house for nothing, so $300 to help her out to keep this going is a small price to pay. So all that she done for me in my life, I can't complain. So you got all this going on, and just bought this Grizzly, so we, got to work. Can't hardly turn opportunities like that down. So I get asked, not by my subscribers, but I get asked by other friends. I got a text message the other day and said, when are you going to slow down? I said, when I retire. That's, I'm hoping to be able to do that within a couple of 3 years. So, I'm real close to 62. And if our retiree health insurance is still there and still affordable when I get 62, I want to take early retirement, because I'm going to take retirements, because I would have 40 years of service in and with the company and have a good pension for meeting, plus the Social Security wouldn't be much bad to sneeze at. And I do have some money in 401k, and most of my 401k I'm going to try to set on for emergencies if I can. Might take out enough to buy me a new truck when I retire. But we'll just have to see how it goes. I may about build me a new shop if I stay here in Kings Mountain. I really kind of want a new shop, but I will see where my personal life takes me. And we'll take you along for the journey. And the other thing I want to do this week is thank my loyal subscribers. I'm not got the channel like some of these other gentlemen have. And quite frankly, I don't aspire to have I don't aspire to have 5, 10, 15,000 or 5, 10,000 subscribers. If it ever happens, it'd be wonderful. But I think it's 275 at this moment, and God bless every one of you. I get 100, 125, 30 views in most videos, and to me that's accomplishment. And for, as I like to say, a dumbass old country boy in Kings Mountain. And I hope you all enjoy this week's video. Hopefully we'll get this Grizzly somewhat into shape some, and you'll get to come along for the journey so we can get it up and running. Because I got a lot of little things I want to do in what little spare time I have. Basically, I've always wanted a collet set up, so I'm gonna be able to have one of them. And hopefully I get these little minor bugs ironed out. And before I go any further, it's nothing wrong with the company Grizzly. It is more my application and my personal schedule is the problem. If I had more time off or had better coordination with some help, or a different workspace that I'm working out of, it would probably be, I would have had it running. My daddy used to tell me a long time ago, if a hoppy toad had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass every time he jumps. So, folks, welcome to the country. Ass is a normal word here. That's about the hardest thing you'll hear me say. I try to stay away from certain things in my personal life, not just the videos. And I will put that in. My personal opinion is there's some things that's slang, and there's some things that's plain out curse words. It's nasty. When you start talking about body parts, sexual functions, or God's name, that's cursing. Anything else, when you get around from that, You may hear me say things like ass, shit, or damn. That's not cursing. That might be slang, and that might not be proper all the time. But every once in a while, I'll let one of them out. I'm human. I can get worse than that if I really get irritated, but I try to avoid it. So that's all the interesting things there. And oh, by the way, in case you're missing my little friend, Deanna, my ex-fiance, ex-girlfriend, and I had the little dog together. And when she left, she didn't want to keep the little dog. And she's decided that she wanted to have JD, the little dog, back for her company. And she is a disabled vet. You may have heard me talk. She has some PTSD issues and some things. And so she has got him registered as a service dog, emotional service dog. I think you may hear James Green talk about one of his dogs as an emotional service dog. That's what JD is officially now, an emotional service dog. So he's going to stay with her and give her emotional support and help her as she needed. We're still friends, and she calls me quite regularly to talk about issues like that. And she sent me the emails of the paperwork where it's all taken care of. And I'm really glad. My work schedule is just a little bit tough to have a little friend around here running around. And it really wasn't fair to him. So it's all worked out for the best, and maybe one of these days when I retire, I can have my own little friend that I can spend some time with, because I love my animals too. So hopefully this week we'll get some more stuff to video, get you some stuff to look at besides me running my yip and what I bought. Maybe I'll get the Grizzly settled down. So I hope you all enjoy this week's video. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I was talking about some decorating I was having done. And maybe I'll try to get a better view of this. This is another one of those photographs from my friend Richard McGinnis, who's Mr. Primetime 86 is his channel. He does a lot of stuff like this. He printed this picture, and I had it framed at a different place. And this particular one is Lake Lure Beach, which is just about 30 or 40 miles north of where we live. And on the couch, here is the other one. It's more like the two that you've seen before that's on the wall. Up here a little closer. You might be a little bit of reflection in it. I'm going to put this one up. I just hadn't had a chance. And it's going to go over here in this bare wall right here. So, I've got them back this week from the framers, so that's one of the things that's happened this week. There's the picture on the wall that you see me do, and that you seen me have on the couch the other day. I hung it just a second ago, so we're going to go ahead and do a video. I wanted to go ahead and do it a little lower, kind of make it a little different. That other TV there, that kind of balances this out a little better, so that sort of looks more like what I want, so kind of gives it a good look. So now that's that picture over here in the walls. The other two that was done at Michael's that I had, and then you kind of go around in the room, and this other one is sitting above the television in this wall. So that's my Richard McGinnis originals. Grizzly update. We took the pads off, and you notice right out the gate how much more this machine is a lot sturdier than what it was. What we're going to do is we're going to bolt the machine to the floor. That's kind of what the plan is right now. And then we'll, if we got to do any leveling, then we'll have to use the shims under the base. But this works a lot better. So that's what the plan is as of right now. I've got some legs, but they're too long. They won't work. I'm gonna have to get shorter leg bolts. So off to the hardware if they're open. I hope you can see this. You see this glass of water, and I'm shaking the lathe. And the lathes are moving, but the water glass is not. So we got a problem. Basically, we need to steady the lathe to the floor. The problem right now, and we're trying to find a solution, is I can't put legs in, which is I can't go under the building. There's not enough room to crawl under the building and drill holes that way and bolt it through the floor. Legs won't go in these pocket holes in here, if you can see them. That'd be too dark. So I'm thinking maybe welding a piece of angle to the outer edge of the machine. And that's what I'm thinking on, studying on at this moment. So I'm going to take a break, go clean up, go see my mom, I think. Good afternoon. I'm going to say I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I'm going to do some more work on the lathe, but I want to do some studying a little bit, study a little bit of what I want to do. This is the 3rd of July. Tomorrow's the 4th. Today was our holiday, but I agreed to work all weekend because we're just plain behind. I think I covered that in the opening pretty well. So basically, you'll see where I'm at on the Grizzly, and you'll notice it's sitting on the floor and the leveling pads is off. So probably we're going to have to try to shim the machine to get it somewhat in level. I'm going to really look at that. Once I get it sturdy on the floor, then we're going to worry about the level. That's the next step. I'm still running into some difficulties. Using lag screws or bolts seems to be the best idea. The problem is you can't put them in the way everything's designed. And so that creates another problem. So, the simplest thing would be to drill a hole underneath. I just got a text message. I'll check on it in a second. So I'm studying on what I'm going to do and about welding. I'm thinking about welding a piece of angle to the outside edge. If I do, I'll probably maybe want to get a heavier piece of angle. So that's probably, or may use the lighter piece. I'm going to study on that and get somebody's advice, and we'll study on it. If I put an angle to the outside, I'll probably put 3 legs in. And you see me shake the lathe and you see the water, so you see the floor's not moving. So this week's video, hopefully you'll see where we're at. It's more of an update. And we're not cutting no chips yet. We don't have no power on. I haven't put an oil in the machine. I want to get this done first before we make any other moves. So I want everybody to have a great 4th. This video will probably come out after the 4th. I hope you had a happy 4th. I hope you had, if you went cookout or done family things, it's fine. I'm going to see local fireworks with a lady friend of mine tomorrow. And that's an ongoing saga with the new friend, and we're seeing how that's going. So, heard me talk about my ex-girlfriend, fiance, she called herself, whatever, and about the little dog and all that was in the opening. So we're supposed to have some showers today. I'm gonna close the shop up, take a shower, head on towards Shelby, see my mother, and drop something else off. Have a great day.